Hello and welcome to High Rise Bakery. So today I won't be making a cake. Instead, I am making handmade Valentine's Day cards. And this is because I decided this year to name my Valentine's Day tea box after Esther Howland, the woman who popularized the Valentine's Day card in the United States. So Esther Howland was born in 1828 in New England. And at this time, as you probably know, very few women were able to get an education. Very few women were able to not only run businesses, but to get any job that wasn't some kind of domestic work. So at one point when Esther Howland was working in her father's stationery shop, she realized that there were these beautiful Valentine's Day cards that they sold, but they were all imported from either mainland Europe or the UK. The only domestically made Valentine's Day cards were just little notes on a piece of paper with maybe a little poetry verse scribbled on it. So she thought, why not make these domestically? She set up shop in her own home, making a couple Valentine's Day cards, and sent her brother with them when he was on a business trip, seeing if she would get any orders. Not only did she get some orders, she got 5,000 orders for Valentine's Day cards. As you can imagine, this was way more than she could make herself. So she decided to ask around in her town to see what women wouldn't mind doing a little bit of work. So she set up shop in her home again with a large group of women manufacturing 5,000 Valentine's Day cards by hand. So these cards were way more complex than the average card you see today. It wasn't just an image printed on a piece of paper. No, these were elaborate, multi-layered cards that used lace and images to make something that not only had a beautiful design, but also had a beautiful texture and an amazing look. So to make these efficiently, she decided to use the assembly line method, which most people are familiar with now, but was not common in that day. In fact, most people know the assembly line method from Henry Ford and the manufacturing of the Model T. But the Model T car wasn't manufactured until the beginning of the 20th century. Esther Howland was working in the mid-19th century. And she decided to use this method by having each woman do one specific task. Maybe one would cut out a piece of paper, the next one would glue it, the next one would add another layer, and so forth. And so she made these handmade items extremely efficiently. And not only were they very efficiently made, these were a luxury product. These elaborate Valentine's Day cards could sell for up to $1, which doesn't sound like much now, but at the time, the average American worker actually made less than $1 a day. So people decided that it was worth it for them to spend an entire day's wages to give something beautiful to their partner. So Esther Howland was amazing in that, one, she started a business as a woman. Two, she employed other women. And also she did this while being disabled for much of her career. She had suffered a terrible fall halfway through her career and had to live in a wheelchair, but this didn't stop her from making a thriving business. This business was so big that one newspaper said that she had a monopoly on the card making business. Though she was not the only one selling cards, hers were definitely one of the most recognizable Valentine's Day cards. These gorgeous cards were so valued that even today, amongst all of the beautiful paintings and pieces of art at the Metropolitan Museum, some of her cards have been exhibited. And so many people made fun of Esther Howland for never having gotten married. How could a woman who made her business out of love never choose to get married herself? Well, I think it's actually something amazing. This woman capitalized on a celebration that was largely for heterosexual love and found a way to make it that she never had to get married. She made so much money and was so successful that she wouldn't need to rely on a man to have everything she needed provided for. And not only did she do this for herself, she gave other women the opportunity to make a living so that they could also be independent and be able to decide whether or not they should get married. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed seeing all these gorgeous valentines being made. Well, maybe not as beautiful as Esther Howland's, but I thought that they were a ton of fun to make. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.